their spot for next season.
Looking strong, looking swag, looking confidence up onto the play-off stage right now. The rookies' dreams do come true in MPL Malaysia season number 10.
Now, Lunatics, they've had inconsistent performances, but recently they have been looking so good. And they're going up against RSG M1.
RSG right now, the experienced team looking fresh with those jackets right now. And obviously, the backbone of their defense is here to cheer them on.
Looks like the main lineup is going to include Alexia this time, and they want to show their absolute best. Remember, this is a lower bracket match, a best of 3 to predetermine who moves on and who gets eliminated.
It's do or die for both of them. But before even we begin into the drafting stage, we gotta introduce the backbone, the mastermind of both of these teams. On RSG, we have Kuja. On Lunatics, we have Coach Aiman.
This is going to be an epic battle to kick things off for the playoffs. I'm so excited for this to already begin, and hopefully these players are excited as well, because can you imagine the nerves coming up onto a stage like this with so many fans?
I mean, the atmosphere right now is heating with pack, but we gotta move on to our keys to victory right now. We've mentioned packing up heat, but what else? EXP laner Impact is gonna be bringing on the heat. For RSG, Iris performing really well, although did not play the entire regular season, but the amount of times he played, he performed outstandingly.
Yeah, and the fact that we're not seeing email on the side of the Lunatics begs to question who exactly is going to be playing in the jungle this time. How are they going to kind of have that jungler dominance? Because we've seen Linkeza, when he is ahead, he stays ahead for a very long time. And the recent plays that Team Lunatics and the style that they've adopted is based around disciplined team fights.
Yeah, I feel like this is quite a risky movement by Team Lunatics. As we mentioned, it's going to be a do-or-die match, but hey, maybe they have some tricks up their sleeves right now.
Well, I don't know, because RSGMY is opting to go for Lexia instead of their traditional support. And I don't know, I thought Hawk was doing a really good job, but I think Lexia brings something else to the table.
Hey, to be fair, there was a 2 weeks break between regular season and playoffs, so a lot of things changed, a lot of things happened. But right now, we gotta look at the audience prediction right now. RSG, I must say, dominating right now on all of the platforms.
3/4 majority vote going over to RSG. I think it's to be expected here. Team Lunatics, they're very fresh into the league. This is their very first playoffs, and I don't know, in the lower brackets, was it to be expected? Of course, but if they could upset against RSGMY, what a statement that would make.
A biggest statement of all, to be fair. Knocking ex-champion out of playoffs is going to be a very confidence gameplay by Team Lunatics. But speaking of confidence, if you guys watching at home or on the venue right now, if you guys have the confidence, why don't you predict who's going to win this particular match? As well as give your prediction in terms of the score. Is it going to be a 2-0 or 2-1? Don't forget to mention or to put in your game ID and server ID, because
Hai teman-teman, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kembali lagi dengan Ojek Online di Story. Hai teman-teman, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kembali lagi bersama dengan Gojek Dejuan Story. Mulai besok Gojek Dejuan. Hai teman-teman, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kembali lagi dengan Gojek Dejuan Story. Mulai besok Gojek Dejuan Story akan mulai beroperasi. Hai teman-teman, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kembali lagi bersama dengan Gojek Dejuan Story. Mulai besok. Hai teman-teman, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alah, cara jaga mah.
Kali. Halo teman-teman. Halo teman-teman.
Ay betul janin hau de tidak.
What is the stop ina?
Hai teman-teman, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kembali lagi bersama dengan Gojek Dejuan Story. Bagi teman-teman
Yang ingin jadi teman saya.
Ya. Hai teman-teman, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kembali lagi bersama dengan Project D Jual Story. Sekedar informasi bagi teman-teman yang ingin pesan makanan, minuman maupun antar jemput, bisa hubungi Juan dengan kontak WhatsApp di bawah. Sekali lagi di antar satu ujung dunia mungkin ya. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hai teman-teman, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kembali lagi dengan Gojek D Juan Story. Sekedar informasi untuk mulai besok Juan akan mulai buka kembali Gojeknya. Bagi teman-teman yang ingin pesan makan atau minum maupun antar jemput, bisa langsung hubungi Juan.
Nggak mau?
Dijamin pelayanannya sangat bagus dan puas banget. Bisa antar juga sampai ujung dunia boleh.
Tidak
Hujan,
ramah.
angin, petir, badai, guntur, tsunami tetap dilalui.
Bintang 1.
Sekedar informasi mulai besok Tujuan akan mulai buka kembali Gojeknya. Bagi teman-teman yang ingin pesan makan atau minum maupun antar jemput, bisa langsung dijamin pelayanan sangat
The prizes is going to be deposited onto your account automatically.
Yep, and you could be earning skins worth up to 749 diamonds. So don't miss the opportunity to use that one more time, that hashtag MPL predictor. But the draft is about to begin here, and I'm a little worried. And you did mention, yes, 2 weeks. Lexia comes on in. Maybe he could be the MVP.
Hey, if that's your choice, we gotta listen to the audience choice as well, because you guys can vote your choice of MVP. It's so easy. Just scan the QR code that you guys can see right now and just vote whoever you think might be able to get that title of MVP of this particular match. But going back to the draft, for the Lunatics, who's gonna be the jungler right now? I'm guessing it's Flint.
I would assume so. We could have Rain go into it. It really depends on the draft and what they're looking like. If we're seeing Julian, both Flint and as well as Rain are very capable of doing so. They have the mechanical skill, but do they have that initiation that we're looking for? Or are they just resting it all on Goldie Look and Zeph's shoulders?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Lunatics ending of the season really strong. They won against Team Heart, they won against SMG. How did they win those matches? By going all in terms of damaging. They don't care about frontliner as much. They just want to pack a lot of damage onto their lineup. And I'm wondering, are they going to go for the similar strategy for this game number 1?
Well, let's find out here in the drafting phase. RSGMY has kicked things off on the blue side with Valentina ban. I think that is to be expected. Team Lunatics on the red side. And this does bring attention to the 2 new revamped heroes who are now playable this playoffs.
I'm predicting Leslie is going to be played at least once throughout this playoff. Maybe Cushion, I'm not too sure about it, but Leslie is definitely going to be picked up. She's super strong. League game-wise, if you have a good early game stages, you can snowball out of control. But it all depends on the early stages, of course.
Of course. Naturally, the early stages where, RSG has really had time to shine. I mean, they've got such strong laners. Loliel's great laner. Iris, another great laner. Lexia and Izanami, we've seen once before. They kind of work together, but the question is whether Lexia is ready for this roamer role like we so suspect.
Ooh, speaking of the revamp heroes, one of it has been banned out by RSGMY, which is Gushin. Surprisingly, do they know something that we don't know? As if Lunatics have a very strong player on the Gushin, and I'm guessing it's gonna be Rain, but hey, we don't know yet right now.
Hey, I'm looking at Flint here. I've seen Flint play previously before he was with Team Lunatics on his previous teams in the MPL MY, and I mean, Gushin was kind of popular then. I'm gonna save it until it actually does happen. Hopefully we get to see it. Akai is the follow-up band here, and so far a lot of the strong first picks aren't there anymore. But what happened to the natural ones? Where I'm expecting to see a Faramis at some point here. It hasn't been touched just yet. Julian as well hasn't been touched.
Fanny is also there. I mean, Ling Isa, if he gets onto that Fanny, I feel like he's gonna really dominate in this first game to just boost up his confidence, getting a very comfortable hero for RSGMY. And speaking of Lexia, the biggest question I have about him in terms of roaming capability is the hero pool. We've seen a lot of Grok. We've never seen other than that yet. So, is this the right time for him to show that he can play other heroes as good as his Grok right now?
Yeah, I really hope that he does have more options here. Fanny is the follow-up ban. RCMY decide to get rid of Juan, and now they get first pick. And it looks like they're going to go off with a Claude pick, denying Toptify his signature hero.
Denying Toptify as well, giving a very, very comfortable hero for Lolios to use. Just gonna farm up his lane, getting those stacks, getting those power spike, and relying on Izanami to actually control the to the early mid to stages for Izanami. So it's quite a risky move, but I think RSGMO has perfected that combo already.
Now, here's what's worrisome, right? The fact that Claude is gone, not exactly the strongest first pick in the world, but it's safe. Team Lunatics could respond with a Diggy Farm, as we've seen this before many times during the regular season. Great early game, decent, honestly, really powerful in team fights as well, especially when you have strong laners. But the denial, it feels like both RSGMY and Team Lunatics are just stealing each other's tools.
Yeah, I mean, like the Grok pick is very, very strong right now. As you mentioned, stealing a pick from Lexia, and I'm wondering how this Grok as well as the Faramis is gonna counter-react with each other. You have the pull from Faramis, you have the damage from Grok, but as a frontliner, a bit squishy right now, a bit squishy. Yes, you have the cut altar to prolong the team fight, but you're gonna need some more right now.
I think it's all about rotating fast, making these plays, and speaking of plays, Team Lunatics locking in the Lancelot. Lancelot has been kind of risky here in specifically MY. I was about to say MYSG again. I was recently watching the grand finals, so
I understand. Our neighboring country just finished their playoff, so I do understand right there.
we'll meet them in M4 and laugh. But until then, we're close. Yeah, we'll throw some quick shade. We love those guys.
All right.
But the fact is, they already have a composition that scales on the side of RSGMY. So how are they supposed to stop Team Lunatics from getting to that, that early game phase, move through the laning, have that mid lane dominance, mid lane control like we were expecting to see?
Yeah, I feel like, again, as you mentioned, it's going to depend on the rotation and who or which lane are they going to be focusing on for Team Lunatics. I'm looking at Lancelot right now. I like the pick, but looking at RSG, they have so much mobility right now. Cloud can just dash out immediately just using the battle meter image. If it's not enough, don't worry. Matilda is there for you. The guiding wing is going to help you out. So the punches, the phantom execution coming up from Lancelot is going to be super, super on point right now.
Yeah, it's got to be sharp. It's got to be clean. He has to hit those abilities. There is no in between. Although I will say that Team Lunatics, although we've been talking a lot about team fights, yes, Farmis is great at team fighting, but the fact that they picked Rock means that they kind of want to push out that mid lane and then look to rotate for the side. So I'm expecting to see maybe a 4-1 comp here for the side Team Lunatics. The fact that they're banning out both Ling and as well as Balmon does tell me that they don't want to deal with split push and they want to be able to secure at least the neutral objective or two.
You've mentioned the 4-1 combination. I'm looking at Team Lunatics. One of the EX laner that could be used is Goldilocks Khalid. He can prolong the team fight really, really well, but right now it's going to be denied by RSGMY. A very, very good face of banning from Kuja right now, reading the game really, really well. So, Lunatics, the ball is in their court right now. What hero? I feel like EXP laner should be picked up here. Not Esmeralda because you do have the counter of Teroth, but Irital is going to be picked up. So packing another damage dealer right now.
Yeah, I mean, their composition is already really good when it comes down to disengaging, re-engaging into fights. The Call Altar is definitely going to give that Irital a little bit of a safety net to jump on into the middle of fights. But more importantly, it gives Goldilocks the option of having a winning lane. Now, RCMI, for all we know, they could decide to give Iris Dairoth blinding Dairoth into this, to be fair. And I think that wouldn't be a bad option, other than the fact that it does ruin their team fighting capabilities. It forces them to play a 4-1.
Yeah, I feel like the Dairoth for Iris is not a bad pickup. You can just decimate the crowd really, really well. You can jump onto Irital as well, just eliminating him really, really fast. So I feel like it's not a bad idea, but we gotta see right now RSGMY is gonna go for a more, I mean, if you have mobility already, why not pump it up even more with Benedetta right now? And Iris on the Benedetta, this is something to behold. His Benedetta is super aggressive, super annoying, I must say as well. It's going to be quite hard for Lunatics to catch on onto Iris.
We'll see what emblems he decides to take, and especially with the battle spells, that'll give us a little bit of an idea of how he wants to play that lane. But Linkeza, he gets the Karina, he's going to feel super comfortable here. I think this is a very standard lineup from RSGMY. I'm a little worried about Team Lunatics, and I think Goldilocks easily can go for Esmeralda. It's not a bad pick. great peel, great options to make sure that Karina may not necessarily get on top. But Tomtify, once he gets the Ice Queen, won.
Yeah, I feel like if this is gonna be an Esmeralda Benedetta matchup, it's just gonna be about clearing the lane.
Oh.
But speaking of mobility, another counter to it is gonna be Forvius and is gonna be picked up by Team Lunatics. The only question I have right now, Forvius is definitely gonna pop up the Demonic Force, forcing him to go in front, to go on to RSGMY. Whereas Team Lunatics, they don't have the mobility as much. Irital might need to sacrifice the sprint in order to catch up to Forvius right now.
I suppose. I don't think Irithel necessarily needs to sacrifice the sprint. I do think Phovius can buy more than enough time in this situation. I feel, honestly, I'm surprised that Team Lunatics didn't double down on an early game composition. They want to play for the later stages. RSG and Y, on the other hand, they have to win their lane, but they don't have as much control in the mid lane as they want to. Team Lunatics are going to push out that mid lane, play for the sides, because their side laners are very, very weak. So we'll see how the mid game comes around for Team Lunatics and as well as RSG as we jump on in towards the Land of Dawn.
Land of Dawn is gonna be the name of the place. Game number 1, lower bracket match. RSGMY up against Team Lunatics. Only one can march on, and the other, we're gonna bid farewell to them.
Oh, instantly, invades coming out. Iris is going to proxy the wave and as well as try to steal away the orange buff.
Looking at Link Aza right now, very, very sneaky. Just gonna steal away this orange buff, and I don't think Team Lunatics can do anything about this. Iris is gonna help even more, furthering the lead for Link Aza, who manages to steal that orange buff.
Yep, very easily done. Goldilocks can't really participate in any of these fights so far. Mid lane at level 1 should have been pushed out earlier, but looks like Izanami and Lexi are doing a good job. Raid! Oh, has to flicker out of there so he doesn't give over Flourish Blood. RSG control.
Oh, sacrificing the flicker. It's okay as long as you don't sacrifice your own life onto RSGMY, who has a very, very good early lead right now, a very good map control. Looking at the bot side right now, Lolias and Izanami, Tomtify gotta be careful right now.
He's gonna get chunked out here. Tomtify, he needs to get out right now, but Lolios, no, it's gonna go over to Izanami. They should have given that over to Lolios, but it's fine. Lexia is here to make sure that Flint doesn't get too much out of the lane, but more importantly so, RSGMY are playing because of their side lanes being so strong. Mid lane, as long as it's generally controlled and when the waves clash, they can go to make these side lane plays. They've already punished Goldilocks, they've already punished Flint, and they've already punished Tomtify within the first minute of the game.
Not only that, Gideon, moreover, as we can see, Tomtify right now, the choice of spell is Flicker. It's not the most ideal. I would say this is gonna help RSG even more, furthering their lead onto the side lane, because only one rotation coming up from Tomtify. He can't run away that far away using the flicker. I would prefer for him to use sprint, as he can invade or evade even better. So I'm not sure about the flicker right now.
I agree with you. Right now, Iris in the middle of the fight gonna get pulled by the Shadow Stampede. Lexia does see Sam forcing out the feathered airstrike, instantly catching with a petrified combo. Goldilocks in the middle of the fight, but it's too late. Legeza has secured the turtle, and now Goldilocks has no way to get on out. He has to commit to this fight unless he has some support. Rain is able to save him for the time being, but now, I mean, RSG clearly in the lead.
Yeah, Team Lunatics right now gotta be patient a bit. Gotta be patient, gotta focus on farming for Lancelot as well as Irital. But RSGMY, they know this. They know the power spike of Team Lunatics in the late game stages. So RSGMY is not giving any chances, any room of breathing for Team Lunatics. Just gonna be trying rotating onto the mid lane, onto the top lane, securing all objectives. 1.5k gold lead up until the 3rd minute mark is a very, very good start for RSGMY.
So when exactly is Team Lunatics going to fight back? I'm expecting first towers to be destroyed soon. Oh, Goldilocks actually getting very, very low here. Again, Iris a full level lead ahead, but Tomtify getting punished on the bottom side as Izanami is rotated. Immediately game pause. Can't be MPL MY without a game pause in the playoffs, right?
I mean, cannot be. This is the first day. We're gonna start out with the pause, but you asked timing for Team Lunatics. I feel like in terms of the minute mark, it's like somewhere between 10-minute mark above.
Oh, 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's a far stretch, I must say. But even if they prolong the game up until 10 minutes, and if RSG has a very snowball-ish early game, it doesn't look too pretty for our Lunatics, to be fair. I mean, I don't think they can come back if, let's say, 5 to 6k goal lead already being taken by RSG.
I suppose coming back might be a bit difficult. I think the scaling on Team Lunatics is all right, but then comes the big question of what exactly is going on with the mid lane, right? I
Yeah.
would have expected both Grok as well as with the help of Farmers should have been able to clear the waves relatively quick
True.
and support the side lanes, but so far it seems that RSG, again, just controlling the mid lane somehow. Side lanes are expected to win, so what exactly is going wrong?
I mean, like RSG, looking at their own gameplay, they just read the game really, really well. They know what Lunatics needs to do, as you mentioned. Clear the mid lane as fast as they can, rotate onto Tom T5's lane and help him out because boy, oh boy, he needs help a lot. And RSG noticed that and they even question themselves why Lunatics are not doing this. If they're not doing this, we can take advantage of this over and over again. Hence why you see how Izanami keep on rotating against Top T5, trying to get that kill. At least just forcing Top T5 out, as we can see here right now.
Yep, they've done it again, but Lancel actually finding a kill onto Iris on the top side. Looks like Iris has finally overextended a good read for the side of Team Lunatics. Goldilocks could potentially actually make it to that 10-minute mark with decent items.
I feel like AOE team fight, Lunatics have the upper hand right now with the cut altar, with the wild charge, but it's just how they're gonna try to engage those team fight for Lunatics. But on the bot side again, the immense pressure that's being given upon Lunatics is just too much for Tom T5. Level 5 up against Lolia's level 6, 1 level difference right now.
Yep, Rain holding on very, very closely. I'm a little scared for him. He still has his Cold Altar to make it work, but they're trying to steal the purple buff so far. Lexia get jumped on by Goldilocks as manages to pull Ligeza out, but a rocket demonic force one more time, getting on top of Lexia. It ain't enough. Ligeza actually dashes back, but manages to survive. Where did the flame shot go? Where did the flame? What? The Phantoms weren't behind him. He's dealing with ghosts of the past or something.
I don't know what's the problem with Malaysian players and Flame Shot. We've seen this multiple of times from SMG, from Team Hawk as well, and now from Team Lunatics. I feel like there's a curse with the Flame Shot. I don't know what it is, but that's just a curse right now because they don't know where the enemies are.
A bit sad. There was definitely a lot of kill potential that had that Flame Shot actually hit, but now with the turtle already falling in the hands of RSG Iris, oh my goodness, that is a very weird position to jump on into as Goldilocks now using the demonic force to get on top of Iris. Don't dash no more, brother. Don't dash. Oh no, he has to now, but they eye for an eye. One more pulls him under the turret, and now Goldilocks is stuck by himself with Izanami getting canceled off. One more demonic force to dodge the last feather airstrike. He should make it out of here. Zeph here to support him, and he manages to walk away.
Hey, Goldilocks just trying to sacrifice his life, but ending up killing Iris and managing to get away. What a play by that guy right there. The EXP laner proving a point. As we mentioned, the keys to victory, how the EXP laner is going to give an impact onto this game. But impact upon impact, it doesn't seem a bit difficult for RGMY. Still holding that goal lead and top divide. Control alternate delete right there.
Absolutely destroyed it. Now Zeph might be in some trouble. He needs to clear off this minion as quickly as possible. It's too late. Zeph will be falling as well. And RSGMY don't mind sacrificing Iris if they get double kills on the opposite side of the map.
I've mentioned 2k goal lead right now. It's bumped up until 3.6k goal lead, but it doesn't end there right now. Izanami gonna get caught out by Goldilocks, but just gonna run away by the guiding wings.
Yep, so far, that's the demonic force already used. Mid lane is already down. Call Altar has popped, and Ligeza all by himself looking to run away as now with so much pressure, RSGMY continue to press the advantage.
That short amount of period team fight right for RSGMY. They dove under the tower. Yes, there was a couple of minions, but they did not even sacrifice one single life from RSGMY. And Lunatics sacrificed the cut altar. Didn't even manage to get a kill. Lolias right now.
He's dead. He has to take back that battle mirror image. Two of them are low, and Lexia, maybe Izanami might be able to catch two, but no, it's too late. Feathered airstrike already being used to try and clear that wave. Goldilocks getting in front of Izanami's face, but it's too late. Lexia, can he secure this kill onto Flint so far? Thorn Rose able to dodge the Soul Bloom, but now Goldilocks has to go back into his lane. Turtle lost once again for Team Lunatics.
A 3 turtle, a hat trick for Ligeza right now is gonna get bomb up really really, really well. The Guardian helmet has been purchased by Ling Eza. So a very, very standard build. A Karina tank is gonna produce a lot of trouble for Team Lunatics right now. And speaking of which, Ling Eza, the frontliner right now, is just gonna take this particular turret down.
Yep. Only look, he is just using that demonic force off of cooldown every single time. He's trying to get in front of Arashi MY. Faces Kodo. They don't care. Izanami now going straight in for this kill as Lolios pops down the blades away. Izanami still secures it with a passive, and now TL are in trouble. It's going to be the wild charge onto Lolios, but it really doesn't matter at the end of the day as Lexia takes aggro, Rain in the middle of that fight. Flint jumps on in with a perfect execution. As Izanami, wings by wings, ain't gonna save him as Flint secures the kill. Backline though, Ligeza and Lexia want to get on top of him. That's going to be the guiding winds used already. In trouble, can't get away as Ligeza secures the kill.
Wow. And on the run right now, Zap, Ling Eza, do he want more? He's not. He's just gonna farm out the jungle. Again, a very good initiation, a very good disengagement by RSG MY right there. Izanami got caught out by the Shadow Stampede while using the wings by wings, hence why he couldn't run away from that particular team fight. But Lunatics, at least they tried to react, at least they tried to do something, although it didn't turn out really, really well. But I feel like they have to do something right now. They cannot just sit and wait for RSG to just have all this advantage right now.
Yeah, and I messed up earlier by saying guiding winds and certainly Eagle, but it's a good way to actually lock down on the targets that they want to go for, like specifically Topsify and arguably even Flint. Flint may not necessarily be the most ideal target in the world, but if they do land that stun, they can have full commitment from Izanami. More importantly, for Link Eza to actually get a clean combo off.
Yeah, looking at the position right now, these three guys, Lexia, Lolias, and Izanami, just standing by each other. One popping off the ultimate, one is gonna help them out with the guiding wings, with the circling eagle as well. And I feel like RSGMI right now, if they even starting the lore right now, Lunatics cannot do anything. Lunatics cannot react anything. But right now, Goldilocks,
He jumps into the middle of demonic force, but it's too late. It doesn't do enough damage to really threaten the lines of RSGMY, blowing him out of the water. That feathered airstrike is doing so much.
But why? Why at that time? The law has been taken care of. But right now, Lexia is just gonna dash away Ling Eza. He doesn't care. He wants the kill right now.
Oh, he gets pulled over the wall and reinforces the call altar out of him. Circling Eel gets on top, and it's too late. They can't do much. They're running them down one by one. Wild charge to try and get on out of there. Zep does survive. How does Lolios get to live?
Lolias right there, the mastermind, the trickery, losing the battle mirror image, using the spring to get away from those shadow stampede, and RGMY having all their life on their hand with the Lord as well. This is gonna be the first inhibitor for RGMY.
8,000 gold ahead. One inhibitor could be falling here. Iris in the middle of the pact. They drop down the feathered airstrike to zone them off, sieging them continuously. They secure an inhibitor, and Goldilocks, he's trying to get on out there. Forces to use the demonic force to buy some time with invulnerability. He's still going, and it's too late. He's down, but they finally take down the Lord for the side of Team Lunatics. One for Lord, no more inhibitors for the mid lane, and now power items coming in from Team Lunatics.
To be fair, Goldilocks did buy a lot of time right there. Only one inhibitor being taken down by RGMI. They're not gonna stop. They know they have this amount of advantage right now.
It's just too big. They can't do anything. With 8,000 gold in their hand, they are looking to walk into Team Lunatics' face, tell them, hey, come at me right now, fight me while I'm ahead.
They gotta be careful. Remember the third keys to victory. Discipline in team fight. One mistake from RGMY, the game is gonna be changed onto Team Lunatics' hands. But although I do say that, but 9.6k gold lead, 9 kills over 4 kills, damage dealt by Lolas and Izanami, both standing tall. 38,000 right now. Lunatics hoping for a miracle right now, hoping one good team fight, one good wall charge, and a combination of demonic force for them to crawl back into this game.
I think even if they do get one really good team fight, that's going to be a 5k gold lead swing into Team Lunatics' favor. That only puts them at 33,000, and by then Arashi has hit the 42,000 mark. If you look at the items, they've already got 3 main items, and Loliel's so very strong right now. Izanami really pushing his advantage. Instead of going for a Holy Crystal or even going for utility items, he wants to go for the Glaive.
Yeah, the glaive is very, very much important. The penetration is super strong right now. I feel like he still is gonna go for the Holy Crystal, or why not just Blood Wings right now? Just pour onto magical damage. Looking at the Lord push advantage, 4k gold lead, earn 6k EXP and turret damage 25,000. I feel like that's a very, very good Lord push. It was the first slot. It was not a luminous slot, but still RSGMY having the most benefit out of that lot.
I feel for Likeza right there because when the wall comes up, it's like, yeah, there's a little bit of a gap. I should be able to walk through that gap, and your hitbox tells you no, tells you otherwise. But for the time being, Zeph, he cannot get anywhere close. Nobody can really contest for this Lord. And I think this is it. RSGMY should be able to secure this game off of that. Flint dashes away with his punctures, manages to get out just in time before the situation gets even worse.
They can get it. Lunatics, what they need to do right now is build that great wall. Build that great wall and try their best to clear the minions, clear the lot, and do not die. Quite simple, right?
Quite simple. I don't know. Maybe if Tomtify had sprint, Zeph has to land like a 3-man knock-up on 3 of their damage dealers for the side of RSGMY. Maybe they have a chance. Okay, here we go. Lord walking into the base. Inhibitors already falling on that top side with Iris using the Electro Final Blow to clear the wave. Goldilocks is going to try and buy as much time as possible, but there's too much damage on board. He cannot get another Demonic Force down to clear the first wave of Lord-empowered minions. The second one is about to follow up, and this is where RSG is going to drop down the hammer to look to end the base. Flint jumping on in, clearing as much as he can for the time being. Iris walking up, Feathered Airstrike already being used. Tomtify and Raid take 1 each. Zeph, even himself, using that wall charge as best as possible, but right now, RSGMY, they have no fear whatsoever. They jump on in, Altar already popped in the middle of the fight. Electro Final Blow with a patch of fire onto Tomtify, putting him out of his misery, forcing him back, and now this is the end. Game 1 falling into the hands of RSGMY.
Very, very disciplined, very, very patient coming up from RSGMY, using that call altar as a bait technically, and Lolias with the battle mirror image, with the blazing duet to just clear all of the minions, all of the heroes of Lunatics, and get that first win.
Maksudnya Wi selain 5 buah HP, kita beli 5 buah akun yang berbeda nanti. Dinda dicek akun channel di nomor.
I think the most that they made out of it was, hey, you know, Benedetta died. That's all they could say. And even then, there was value in Iris's death.
On top of that, Lingeza couldn't jump over the wall. That was a mistake.
That too. But that being said, hopefully Lunatics are going to come back stronger. Let's throw it over to the mic check to see what they've been talking about.
Selang 2 bulan bisa dapat
Kalau 1 bulan kita bis nyampe sekitar 2 minggu atau 3 minggu 1 bulan setelahnya baru nyampe.
maksudnya kalau udah ditulisnya
Orang kita dapat tahu Mira.
Yang penting kita lolosin dulu. Monetisasinya kita lolosin dulu $10 ya.
Oke, mantap. Boleh.
Tergantung
Mantap
dong
guys, baca tuh lah guys.
biar berkesan.
Few words exchanged between the members of RSGMY, and with a lead like that, you don't really need to do too much to get away with the game.
Hey, to be fair, I mean, I've seen a lot of games that one team had a 9k advantage and they still lost.
We don't talk about that.
Hey,
pretend like it didn't happen.
But to be fair, RG played their cards really, really well. The drafting was good for them. They had a very strong idea. The early game stages was really good. The rotation was on point. And Lunatics just didn't pack enough firepower right there.
I think there was no way for Lunatics to really come back from that situation, right? I think a lot of the early game moves done by RSGMY, especially on the top side of the map, instant invade coming in from both Iris as well as Likeza taking away the orange buff, proxying the wave at the same time, almost killing Rain in the process down by the mid lane, getting out an early flicker within the first minute.
Yeah, I mean, with the amount of goal lead that RAG had, looking at the itemization right now, looking Zanami did opt for the Holy Crystal later on, but the early stages like Tranchan Divine Glaive was enough for him to just decimate Team Lunatics members. And looking at Lingeza, he knows that Izanami has the damage, Lolias has the damage, Iris somewhat has the damage as well. So Lingeza is just going to focus on just buffing himself up, absorbing all the damage. If that's not enough, Immortality is there, Winter Tranchan is there as well. So all in all, everything went in place for RCMY.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it's great because RGMY, the mid lane was not supposed to get a strong push like that, especially at level 1. And like Farmis as well as Grok are willing to sacrifice a bit of HP to make this happen.
Yeah, it should have been different. Grog Farming's combo should have cleared really, really early on. And then the rotation should be focused on Erital, should be focused on Tom D5, but they did not do that. It's like they were unsure what they wanted to do, but we're sure of one thing. For the MVP of this game is gonna be nominated for RSGMY Lolias with the Cloud. Almost 800 gold per minute, 3k damage per minute, but the kill participation, every team fight, he's gonna be there to end it all.
I mean, look at the smile on his face. That's a person who knows his team is playing for his side of the map. I'm an EXP laner. I don't get that benefit at all. Gold laners like Lolios, not only did he get a winning matchup, but he got a lot of support to actually help press his advantage. And ending the game with basically full items at this point of time really kind of says it all.
I mean, we're gonna look more into the highlights brought to you by Samsung Galaxy A series. As you mentioned, getting help from Izanami. Lolias is a happy boy right there, getting the kill or at least killing off Tom T5. It doesn't stop there. Looking at RJMY just trying to dominate the whole game, but Goldie, look, I feel like if there was an MVP on the losing team, I'll give the Goldie look. He did so much. He did everything he could, but all in all, it wasn't enough.
I mean, the worst part was the fact that he was playing Phobius. Give him Khalid, give him Thamus. He probably could have done a lot more in the earlier stages of the game. It's a simple matter of draft, right? Phobius, unfortunately, needs his items to be more relevant to actually pose a threat against RSGMY's lineup. And I think overall throughout this game, the fact that RSGMY, they won the early game, and mid-game Team Lunatics were just a little too far behind. They missed their item power spike. They never had a chance to really come back.
Looking at all those team fight right here, the most happiest guy I'll feel like is Izanami. No one is gonna touch him. No one is gonna stop that feather airstrike. Yes, Flynn might dash onto him, might use the puncture, but on the way to Izanami, he's gonna take a lot of damage. And in fact, even if he reached onto Izanami, he's already dead.
that is true. I think it was supposed to be Zev's job. I saw it many times where he would walk up and, one feather airstrike, two feather airstrike, and then you would see the wall actually deny and actually break him out of the feathered airstrike area. So generally, I think there was a good idea coming out from the side of Team Lunatics. I think the early game could have been played a little bit better. Instead of, hey, we have to go and try and protect the orange buff, why not just clear the mid lane, help your jungler go into the enemy territory, push that out, or maybe look for an early gank.
I feel like it's still okay for Lunatics. They're still game number 2. This is a learning process, a learning experience for them. This is the first time they're stepped onto the stage of playoffs. But again, you gotta bring your A game onto this stage, and RSG right now looking very dominant. If they continue to perform like this, I feel like it's going to be a 2-0 for them. But hey, anything can happen in the world of Mobile Legends.
I mean, this is the lower brackets, and if they lose this, they get eliminated, right? It's not like they're playing for, don't worry, we're just going to drop down into the lower bracket and have another best of 3. Right now, it's a pretty stressful situation for the Lunatics, and especially since it really came down to, we just played the early phase slightly bad, and we never had a chance to really come back from this.
Just a bit of tweak for Lunatics right now. In terms of drafting, nothing much to change. I feel like both have a very good idea. It's just about execution. Who execute their game plan really well. And as we can see, RSG having the clear idea. They know what they need to do. They know where to rotate. They know who to help. Lolias is gonna give a very good amount of help. And look how he performed right there.
Oh, what's that? Do you hear that? I heard that there's a special gift up on screen. So claim it while you still can. You guys know what to do. We're not gonna have to talk about it too much. Just go to the website, type that code, and you got some free in-game rewards. But now, as the teams and players are coming back up onto stage here, right? RSGMY, I feel like they're extremely prepared. When it comes down to the draft, everything, it feels like Team Lunatics at this point of time still feel a little disorientated.
Yeah, I feel like disorientated is a very good word right there. And Lunatics just gotta go back to those moments of week 8. I feel like Lunatics Week 8 was very, very outstanding. So they just got to go back onto that mode, onto that system of theirs, and just go all out right now for game number 2. But we got to recap first for game number 1. Looking at the damage dealt by RCMY, it's gonna be 49k. Lolios 50k. I mean, what are the chances? I mean, what a time to live in right now. That jungler is not the main gaming dealer right now.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I mean, we don't play jungle.
That's exactly why I think it's a.
orang upload tuh video orang Toira, orang Batak penonton dari luar negeri, video itu sih dia upload kecil
Justru itu nggak decat YouTube. Tapi
berhasil, tapi harus semua video-video aja deh channel 2012.
Kacau Juan. Oke teman-teman, kita kembali lagi di game Cimirolen Indonesia dan kita akan lanjutkan permainan kita pada malam hari ini pada game Mobile Legend Bang Bang.
Kapan
itu berada
itu ke kantor
berada
tapi
punya
kantor
ML.
yang jelas yang bersifat
Apa?
yang jelas yang bersifat kantoran lebih dinilai place yang lama.
Ede, naik ke foto ini. Intinya main pragas, Pak. 2023 dia harus beli auto. Aku bunuh enggak akhirnya? Harus beli auto.
Yang tahun lalu kan.
Ambil auto. Aku
Ini kapan?
di Rawali Bandara ini. Ini hari jual manfaatkan kesempatan ke 2023 gas dari orang persiapan matang gas pula lo tempur habis-habisan bikin ngopi Insya Allah amin, doakan saja kawan.
Orang-orang motor, orang gaji, orang-orang fondasi ya. Dari yang hidup, kalau bisa kayak itu.
Darahku membara sampai aku mati.
to Mobile Legends! Initiate retreat! First blood! Initiate retreat! Launch attack!
Rasakan kapakku. Ketika mendengar suara perang dari
Request backup!
demi kehormatan, kami menyerang lebih keras.
Enemy has been slain! Well played! Request backup! An ally has been slain!
Inilah amarah para orc.
An enemy has been slain! An ally has been slain! An ally has been slain! Launch attack!
Tidak ada sahabat sejati kecuali diri kita sendiri. Dataran utara pegunungan Lantis adalah rumah kita yang sekarang. Storm Eye Wasteland adalah penjara untuk jiwa yang
Killing spree!
aku mati dengan kehormatan.
Salah.
Manusia bodoh.
Request backup! You have slain an enemy!
Akan mati.
Double kill!
Kill.
Request backup!
Untuk kehormatan dan kebebasan.
Launch attack! Down!
Bersiaplah untuk hancur.
Ally has been slain. Launch attack! Your team destroyed the turret. Enemy has been slain. You have been slain. Ally has been slain. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Kita harus mendapatkan kembali kehormatan kita.
Ally has been slain.
Mereka tidak punya pikiran kecuali melihat rumah mereka terbakar rata dengan tanah.
Enemy has been slain. Our turret has been destroyed. Initiate retreat.
Tuhan hati membawa kemenangan. Orang lemah akan mati.
An enemy has been slain. Enemy rampage. Enemy double kill. Enemy triple kill. An ally has slain the turtle. Enemy
Aku mati dengan kehormatan. Api neraka akan membakar kalian.
enemy has been slain. Our turret is under attack. Slain. An enemy has been slain. Our
Sejati
turret has been destroyed.
korban.
Launch attack.
Kita akan membalas mereka 10 kali lipat.
Ally has been slain. Free. Legendary shutdown. Enemy double kill. Our turret has been destroyed. An enemy has been slain.
Kita harus hidup, maka mereka harus mati.
Launch attack.
Kau orang lemah akan mati.
Slain. Our turret has been destroyed. An ally has been enemy double kill. Legendary.
Aku mati dengan kehormatan.
Masih serang bagus. Masih serang barang serang ini.
Our turret is under attack. An ally has been slain. Enemy has been slain. Initiate retreat.
Rumah kita akan dibangun di setiap sudut wilayah ini. Kita harus hidup, maka mereka harus mati.
You have been slain. Enemy has been slain. Our turret is under retreat.
Orc sejati tidak pernah
Initiate retreat. Initiate retreat.
punya pilihan kecuali melihat rumah mereka terbakar rata dengan tanah. Bersiaplah untuk hancur. Orang lemah akan mati.
Our inhibitor turret is under attack.
Suatu hari aku akan
Launch attack!
semua orang.
Launch attack! Shut down! Killing spree! Ally has been enemy double kill. Initiate retreat! Our inhibitor turret is under attack. Hold down, inhibitor turret is under attack. Our turret has been destroyed.
Hancur!
Shut down!
Bong.
Initiate retreat! Our inhibitor turret is under attack. Our turret has been destroyed.
Manusia bodoh.
Turret is under attack. Killing spree. Launch attack. Request backup.
Hancur! Kita harus mendapatkan kembali kehormatan kita.
Enemy under ally has slain. Initiate retreat. Request backup. Request backup. Initiate retreat.
Tuhan lagi membawa kemenangan.
Shut down. Your team destroyed a turret. Initiate retreat. An ally has been slain.
Hatiku bernyanyi ketika mendengar suara perang dari klanku.
An ally has been under attack.
Utara pegunungan Lapis adalah rumah
Your
kita
team
yang
destroyed a turret. Our base is under attack. Your team destroyed a turret. Initiate retreat. Request backup. Our base is under attack. Has been slain. Team destroyed a turret. Double kill. Enemy double kill.
demi kehormatan kami menyerang lebih keras.
An enemy has been slain.
Untuk kehormatan dan kebebasan.
Enemy killing. Initiate retreat.
Akan hancur.
Our base is under attack.
Kita akan membalas mereka 10 kali lipat. Untuk kehormatan dan kebebasan.
Beware of enemy.
Orang sejati tidak takut berkorban.
Initiate retreat.
Dengan kehormatan.
Initiate retreat. Inhibitor turret is under attack. Ally has our initiate retreat. Enemy unstoppable.
Orang lemah akan mati.
Our base is under attack. Launch attack.
Atlantis adalah rumah kita yang sekarang.
Our base is under attack.
Wah, bisa.
Defeat.
Nampak sekali waktu ini.
Oke, cumpukin jam 12. Jam 12. Jam 12 nih.
Polisi sedang menyelidiki keseluruhan hilang akhir-akhir ini. Kami himbau semua warga waspada dan melaporkannya kepada
Aku telah berjanji
Cepet bunyi lagi.
tidak akan gugur sebelum melawan kamu.
Orang lain dapat dia para orang menikah. Bubar. Udah cuma Gula kauman. Dia hati kan ini. Mungkin kami. Biasa. Oh, baru ambil motor saya. Besok ya.